What up, socialites, and welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
Me, Gaspare Randazzo.
Coming up, I'm going to be in, let me see if I can do this from memory without looking at my dates. Okay, I'm going to be in Winnipeg, and then Atlantic City, and then Newark, and then Portland, Maine, and then I'm going to be in, hold on, and then I have a little bit of time off. I know that. And I'm going to be in,
This is going very
and
well.
then it's Toronto. And then I have that chunk of time off. And then I'm going to be in Chicago and Atlanta. Yep.
Are you home for the holidays?
Sure am.
Yeah, right?
We'll be in Michigan for Christmas and North Carolina for Thanksgiving.
Is that a North Carolina accent? I just want to say shout out to the podcast people who listen. Thank you guys so much, because after that episode we talked about like Melissa's heart thing, so many people messaged her. That was very sweet of you guys. Thank you.
Very, very sweet.
Not
a North Carolina accent. I kept talking like this when I did my show in Charlotte.
They were like, what
and
the fuck
people,
are you doing?
the staff kept coming up to me and they're like, we have seen everything, all your clips, all your videos, everything. And this accent's not in any of them, but you get down here and that's all you sound like on stage. I was like, yeah, well, you know.
That's how I am. I will be
I do it.
Speaking of, I'll be in North Carolina as well. Then I'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Rochester, New York, Long Island, New York, Manasquan, New Jersey, Chandler, Arizona, San Diego, California. Get your tickets at GaspareRandazzo.com. Joe, I have a question for you. You hear my voice, right?
Yeah, sounds like a garbage man.
Okay, a garbage man, right? Whenever I call any customer service, when no matter what, if I call customer service, a pool company, the dentist, whatever I call, they always say to me, thank you so much, ma'am.
No, they do not.
Joe, I swear on my children, they always say, thank you, ma'am, or miss, it's okay, calm down, we'll straighten this out. I'm like, miss? Always. And like to the point where it's just this running joke. Melissa's always laughing. So I was on the phone with this pool company. They kept calling me ma'am the whole time. And they're like, ma'am, I think yesterday we spoke with your husband, Gaspare. And I'm like, it's me, it's Gaspare. And they were like, okay, ma'am. Like, it's like they didn't believe me. And it's constant. If I go to a drive-thru, I went to the drive-thru at McDonald's. They were like, thank you, just pull right up, ma'am. I was like, ma'am, what the fuck? That's what I'm saying. I've had this gravelly ass voice my whole life. And I'm ma'am, always. And like someone messaged me.
If you were a ma'am, you would be a trucker who has been smoking Marlboro Reds since conception, who literally, you would be like an underwater oil wielder or something like that.
Someone told me I sound like Marge Simpson's sisters from The Simpsons.
If they got run over and then...
No, do you know who they are? Marge Simpson's sisters?
I mean, honestly, Gaspare, that is true. You do sound like Marge Simpson's sisters if they were men.
I don't know. So, John, I'm not kidding. I get it so much. So someone messaged me today because I had posted about it on Instagram, and someone said, listen, as a podcast listener, after hearing you do the ads, if you talk anything like that when you're on the phone, I could see them thinking you're a lady.
Really?
Because I guess me, my ad voice is like, oh, hello, everybody. That's not how I talk. I'm just like, hey, what's going on with the pool situation? And they were like, ma'am, please calm down. I was like, ma'am. And then Melissa's like, is it resolved? I go, yeah, it's not resolved. The fact that they think I'm you. I was like, and they're telling me, oh, I think I spoke to your husband. That's what she said to me on the phone.
That is so funny.
Crazy, right?
Okay, so who do they think they're on the phone with? Rosie the Riveter? Like, that's insane.
I think maybe the name Gaspare is misleading.
Yeah, I gotta say this. So many people still don't know who you are, but they know I have a podcast with you and they've never said your name out loud. And they'll say, Gaspare,
Yeah,
or
of
some
course.
weird shit. Like the first time I met you, I called you Jasper.
Yeah, that's normal. Gaspar,
Yeah.
Gaspare, Gasparino. That's in Italian.
Yeah.
Um,
You
all right.
ever read a word but never said it out loud?
Yeah. You know what word I can't say? Sunamo or whatever. Pseudomo. When someone has like an alter ego, like an author writes under a different name, it's their pseudo name.
Yeah.
Pseudo?
Yeah, pseudo.
But it's spelled with a P. Pseudo.
Yeah, and pterodactyl spelled with a P too, but you don't say the P.
Yeah, I know, but that's one of those words I never said out loud. So just now.
Till just now.
Have you said that word in your life?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Why? What's a word that you never said out loud?
Macrame.
What?
Macrame.
What does it mean?
Macrame is like a woven, it's like woven art, but typically it'll be like a woven basket that you'll hang a plant in.
Oh, I have one of those in my house.
Well, I had only read it. I had never said it. And I went to the store and I asked them if they could point me to where all their macrame is.
Were they like,
macrame.
What?
They were like, I'm sorry. Are you here with an adult? Yeah. It was.
Where's your Macklemore?
Here. I'm just going to pretend you didn't say it. I'm going to pretend you didn't say it.
Do you like Macklemore?
He's from Seattle, actually. And he pops up every now and then.
I like him. I used to love him.
Yeah, he had a moment.
Yeah, big. I mean, he's not my Machine Gun
Macklemore's
Kelly.
a good-looking guy.
Oh, very good looking.
Very good-looking guy.
The high fade. He went through a lot. He was like, I think he was a bad drug addict or something. He's very public about it. Like, about recovery and stuff. He has like a whole album about it set. You know, it's actually cool. I mean, I listen to it and I'm inspired and I don't even do drugs. I'm like, hell yeah. I like stories like that. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for a good comeback story.
I'm a sucker for a good comeback story too.
Like even Machine Gun Kelly, who I'm a big fan of, is like clean and sober now. And like, I like watch all this stuff about him talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get sober too. And then I'm like, I don't even drink. I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to get clean. So
yeah, the most you've ever done is a cup of coffee.
No, I never had a cup of coffee. I had beers.
I swear to God, you're Mormon.
I've had beer. I only been drunk once my whole life, like drunk.
It just isn't for you.
Isn't that wild? One time on Melissa's 30th birthday.
No. It's not wild. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've like been buzzed.
Every year that goes by, I like drinking less and less.
Well, I feel like it either goes one way or the other.
When I was in college, I probably should have gone to like some sort of rehab. I was drinking so much.
Yeah, but you were in college. It's different.
But you were in college?
Yeah, but you went away to college and dormed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in community college. When am I going to get wasted and be like, Mom, where's the pancakes? Like,
I probably would have.
Yeah, people did. I know. I don't know. I just never did. I never was into it.
Crazy. Look at you.
All right. I have to tell you something crazy. And I want to know, what would you have done in this situation? You're going to love it. All right.
Yeah.
So I was in Hershey Park, Hershey, Pennsylvania, right? Doing a show.
Squirt.
So the show is in a hotel, right? You know, very common. A lot of comedy clubs are in hotels throughout the country. So they put
not a lot.
Well, there's a few. In New Jersey, at least, there are a bunch.
This is what Gaspare does all the time, you guys. He'll message me and be like, I'm getting tons of messages about the podcast.
No. How many, I don't do that anymore.
There's a ton. How many, Gaspare? 5.
I don't do that anymore, though. So there's a few. I've seen another comedy club. No, it doesn't matter. I don't remember where it was. But I know it happens. Or they have like rooms, whatever. Anyway, so I'm waiting online at the hotel to check in, right? So I'm waiting there. This guy's online all pissed off, right? And he tells them, he goes, I went in my room and my whole room was dirty. It was never cleaned. The whole room was dirty. This is ridiculous. So I'm waiting there patiently. And then like, they were like, sorry, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We must have gave you the wrong room. Then they're like, and what's your problem? To the guy behind him, is everything okay? And he goes, I swiped my key card and there was a whole family sitting in the room when I walked in. And it wasn't even my fucking family. And he was screaming. I bursted out laughing. But he was like, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, what's about to be in my door? Like, I couldn't wait to get to my room because this was just
Yeah.
so much mystery. Now, here's what I'm thinking. This was a regular guy, like nothing, like me and you. If I swiped and there was a family, I would have been mortified. I would have been, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I would have walked right out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And you would have done the same thing. And it appeared that this guy did the same exact thing, But
Okay.
the truth is, like, that's insane because, like, that's horrifying for the people in the room. I'm just thinking, imagine I'm there with my wife, my kids, and this guy just opens the door and starts walking in. Now, granted, like, he probably walked right out, but still, there's that moment of like, what the fuck, like you're in a supposedly safe space in your hotel room. Like that, it blew my mind. And then they're like, well, what can we do to make this up to you? And they're like, how about a drink ticket? He's like, all right. I was like, dude, a drink ticket? I would have been like, give me a fucking new hotel. Give me all my money back and I'm not staying here. And he was just like, all right. So we got a drink for it. And I wonder if the family ever came down. Because if I was them, I would have been like, yo.
Oh, I would have been like, hell no.
I would have bolted my door shut. I would have to put my mattress in front of it. But then I was like, what are they going to do? Come in and touch me?
This has never happened to me, but I've been with people and it's been like, they're like, there's people in the room. And I'm like, yes, this has happened. So I stayed at I'm pretty Bonvoy, like Marriott Bonvoy. I'm pretty loyal to them, racking up the points, all that. So I don't know how you say it. How do you say this hotel? A-L-O-F-T.
Aloft.
I say Aloft too. The whole fucking state of North Carolina says Aloft.
Aloft?
Aloft. I think it's Aloft, guys. Yeah, I say Aloft. Okay.
Yeah.
For the rest of the story, I'm going to say
right now. Go ahead.
So I stayed in Aloft, which is, it's fine.
I like them.
It's nothing nice, but it's like, you know what an Aloft reminds me of? Here. This is so spot on. Hold on. What I'm going to tell you right now is so spot on. Aloft hotels are what IKEA would be if IKEA had hotels. Aloft
I could totally see that.
Yeah, it's like IKEA hotels.
It's like IKEA furniture.
Everything is like nice looking, but like
will
shitty.
Fall apart.
will break. Like don't touch anything. So that's Aloft, IKEA's hotel.
It's not Aloft, Joe. It's Aloft, by the way.
I don't give a fuck.
Aloft.
Perfect. It's Aloft now. So I'm at Aloft.
They want to pronounce.
You should do this more
Aloft.
often when you don't know how to say words.
Go ahead, continue.
So, first of all, this was the craziest trip that I had ever had. I woke up, I was in a different hotel in Charleston the night before, a Moxie, which sometimes Moxies can be a little IKEA-like.
I've never been in
one. And there was a hurricane in the middle of the night. And I'm looking up and Gaspare, I'm talking shit's hitting my window. Like I opened the window to look out. It looked like I was in a car wash. It was crazy. So I look up what to do. And it's like, get away from the windows. My room was 2 walls of windows.
You looked up like what to do in a hurricane?
Yes, it's like get away from the windows. I had to do connecting. It was 2 floor-to-ceiling walls that were windows in my room. I was like, oh my God. So it's like, go to the bathroom but shut the door. I get in the bathroom, glass door. I'm just like, well, this is my final day. So anyway, so then I drive in the morning through all the hurricane rubble to Charlotte. I am tired as hell because right when I get there, I was asked to be a special guest at Levine Children's Hospital. Do you know anything about this?
That.
Yeah, they have like, it's called Seacrest Studios. Ryan Seacrest set up these like radio stations in children's hospitals all over the country. And they invite people in to like be on the radio with the kids, and the kids watch it from their rooms. And then they like ask you questions, and like kids were like calling in from their rooms and stuff. It was so cool.
What do you like read to them?
No, it was like a radio show. They were like, the kids were like interviewing me and like talking to me about comedy and stuff. It was wild. But then they were like, how was your show last night? And I was like, killed it. was like, shit. Shit. I was like, shit.
Ryan Seacrest was like, what the fuck?
Shit. I was so embarrassed. I said
You
after
probably
to the
laughed.
nurses, I was like, you guys, I'm so sorry. They're like, it happens all the time. It's like, I'm sitting next to these kids with like
Yeah.
some shit. And I was just like, oh God. Anyway, so it was so, first of all, also Gaspar, they don't prep you for this shit either. You get in there and it's like, here's two kids with very, very severe illnesses. Have a great day. And I'm like, okay. And then the last question, they were like, do you have any like words of wisdom for us? And I'm like, it's okay to be yourself. And what makes you different makes you better. Like, I'm just like,
my God,
holding
that
it
would
back. Oh my God, Gaspar. If anyone I knew was in that room, I would have lost it. I was looking
was
up at the
rough.
ceiling, like, stay strong for these fucking kids. It was so hard, but it was like, so rewarding. Not just like it was rewarding to be in a position where you can see these things. Like, I wonder how many people in this country don't know about these Seacrest studios.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know about it. And then I got invited and I was like, how cool. And then I even thought about it. I was like, now I get to go back and talk on the podcast and like show people that this cool thing is happening. And I was just like, life is amazing. Comedy is amazing. Like, it's such a gift to be able to travel like this and to do what? To make people laugh. I had these kids cracking up next. I was telling fart and poop jokes. They thought it was the funniest shit they ever heard. I was like, this is great. Like, this is so cool. Okay. I'm turning into you. I'm getting distracted.
No,
so then I had to go immediately to that. Like, I was getting picked up within 15 minutes. So I had to go up to my room, put my shit down, change, get ready, and go. Okay. Well, I get up there. The whole room smells like piss. So I'm like, I don't have time to complain about this. I don't have time to do anything about this. And it was like a mild waft of piss, not like soaked. You know what I mean?
So it was like they peed, but a few days ago.
So would you have gotten a new room?
In that situation, it's hard because you got to leave. And then what are you going to do?
I had
you
to
can't
go.
put your stuff down and then be like 3 hours later, be like, I actually just went up and it still smells like piss from hours ago. But I don't know if it stunk. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, it wasn't like nasal penetrating. Like, it was just
like
piss,
smells can get to me. Like the certain smells can make me like gag, and I don't want to be
put it into
gagging.
perspective. It was less piss smelly than a kindergarten classroom that has the bathroom in the classroom.
I've never
if you've
smelled
ever
that.
Kindergarten classrooms that have the bathroom in the classroom are vile. And then administration's like, is against the code. You can't use bleach. You can't use bleach. I'm like, okay. So the custodian's like, we use this whatever spray. I'm like, whatever you're using is salt water because it's not getting shit out. So I would go in on the weekends and bleach that bitch down. They're like, the kids, it's bad for the kids. I looked at all their medical records. None of them have a fucking bleach issue. I'm bleaching this bitch down because we're growing the next cast of Ghostbusters in this room. It's insane.
Now, who cleans a bathroom in a kindergarten classroom? A janitor comes in? Or?
The janitor, yeah. The janitor.
No, I didn't know if it was your responsibility.
But the janitors are like, well, I got regulations. I got to use only this very specific. I'm like,
well, they also
you might as well blow air on this shit.
They also mop straight from the toilet, the floor around the toilet, into the sink. They just slap it on.
You did that.
Well, I've also seen other people do it. That's where I learned it.
So bottom line is, it wasn't bad enough for me to complain because when I came back, I only had a small window of time before I had to leave for the show. So I was like, it's either complain and potentially go over and then I'm late, or just take a nap in this. So I just took a nap in it, right?
Yeah, I would have probably just relaxed. And I don't know. I also hate complaining. Like, I had an air conditioner once in a hotel. I had an air conditioner that was just blowing out hot air. And I was like, no, this ain't it.
You get me, right? Sometimes it's just like, I was like, suck it up.
I was like, I could suck it up, but it was like legit, like blowing out heat. And I was like, so I went down and I was like, yeah, I'm like, just letting you know. One time, and they did move my room, they was broken. And one time I did have to call them. I couldn't find the lights in the room. I was like, because like all of a sudden, like hotels now got rid of lights. Like they only have lights.
You gotta put the thing in the wall.
No, they only have lights like
thing.
next to the bed. Like just like little lights by the bed. Instead of like the whole room always being lit up. I don't know. But I had to call them. I was like, I can't find the lights. And they were like, this guy's a fucking moron. And they were like, they're by the bed. And then I turned them on. I go, there's not enough light in here. They were like, that's the light. I'm like, that sucks. I was like, okay.
What motel were you staying in?
It was a nice hotel, just didn't have lights. They don't all have lights. Anyway.
So I stayed and I didn't complain. And it takes a lot for me also like you to complain. So this is what I did. I get back from the show. Now I'm exhausted. And sometimes the night workers at hotels, I don't know how to say this, but they're not with us. They're not with us. They're like, they just got done playing a video game in the back. And then like you are now impeding on their time because they need to get back to Fortnite or whatever it is. They're just not with us. All right. So I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to do this. And I get it. I go to sleep. I get woken up in the middle of the night from knocking on my door, but I put the do not disturb up. And I was like, no, thank you. Get the knock again. No, thank you. I get the knock again. I get the knock a third time. And I said, no. I just said, no. And I hear, it's management. And I'm like, oh, shit. I go, hold on. I'm butt ass naked. I throw some clothes on super quick, which, by the way, Gaspare, it was torrential downpouring in Charleston. So when I walked with my duffel bag to my hotel, it looked like I jumped in a pool. It's full stop, no exaggeration. Like I'm talking so wet. I took off my backpack and there was like lines that were dry. That's how wet I was. So because of that, my clothes were sopping wet. By the second day, all my clothes smelled like fucking mildew.
Oh,
I must have put half a bottle of cologne on my body before I went on stage. And I was like, and then I did a meet and greet. I was like, these people are going to write about this online. I'm done. I'm Reddit toast. Anyway, so I go to the desk. I'm like, what? And she goes, what's the last name on the reservation? I go, oh no. And this is where I got a little bitchy joke came out. She goes, what's the last name on the reservation? I go, oh no. I go, who are you? I go, for all.
What time was this?
Honestly, like 11 a.m. But I was so tired. I'm on a different time zone. Like
it was in the morning the next day.
Yes.
I thought this was in the middle of the night.
Well, I mean, it was the middle of the night for me because I'm on Pacific time. So it's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Still not the middle of the night.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, go ahead. And
they had good. Aloft's got a good blackout curtain, by the way. Those IKEA curtains. So I go, oh no. She goes, what's the last name? I go, for all I know. And then I go like this to her. I go, for all I know, this could be a costume.
What did she say?
I've been watching so much Dateline on the road. I freaked myself out. I'm like, here is this person here to take my identity. And I go, this could be a costume. And she goes, I'm management. I don't know what to tell you. And I go, well, I'm not just going to give you my last name. What do you need it for? And she goes, can you just give me your last name, please? And I go, absolutely not. What is happening here? And she goes, there's been a breach in the system. And it checked out half the rooms in this whole hotel. I go, well, is this a safety concern, man? Does somebody have my key? Like this? And she's like, can I please just have your last name? And I was like, Dombrowski. And she goes, thank you. And just leaves. And then the rest of the day, I'm like, I'm going to get my shit stolen for sure.
But wait, time out. I'm confused. So she's knocking on doors because there was a concern.
Not a concern. The hotel did check out half the rooms in the whole place.
Oh, so she was just making sure that you are who you say you are?
My room must have gotten checked out.
So she was just reconfirming that you're there. Gotcha.
Right.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have been weary of that too, especially if they're just knocking. Like, bring me to the front desk, fine. You know, like
Mhm.
start typing on a computer where I could see that you have a computer, fine. But if you're just straight up asking me and you have a clipboard, you could have got that at Party City.
That's what I'm saying too. Also learned about a hotel hack this weekend.
Do tell.
If you need to cancel your hotel reservation, but it's too close in the window where you're no longer able to cancel it, you go online and you extend your trip like 2 or 3 weeks. And then you wait a day and then you call and cancel because you're not in the window anymore.
You extend it, meaning you stay longer.
No, you extend it, push it back. You push your, like, if that's supposed to check in tomorrow, you go in line and change it to like 2 weeks from now.
Oh, you could do that?
I don't know. That's what I heard on TikTok.
You didn't do it. It's just
It sounds legit.
So speaking of, you reminded me of something. I wrote it down with the wet, right? Do you know what Giant's Causeway is in Ireland?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Giant's Causeway is on the tip of Ireland, right? So on the tip of Ireland and Scotland are on two different, like, Ireland's on one side of the water, Scotland's on the other, okay?
Yeah.
So there's a causeway, which looks like this, ready? Steps, like rocks going down, right?
Do it again?
Like,
yeah, like steps.
Yeah, like,
okay.
But like almost like rocks or wood. And they call it Giant's Causeway because the old myth is that a giant from Scotland was fighting a giant from Ireland and they were like walking, using those steps to attack each other back and forth. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we following?
Yes.
So my brother and I told you that we backpacked Europe one time, my brother and I. We literally just showed up in Europe with a backpack on with clothes in it.
Oh my God, horrifying. Okay, keep going.
And my brother and I was 18, my brother was 26. And we were like, whatever train comes first, we just bought a Eurorail pass, which lets you take the train anywhere in Europe. And we were like, whatever train comes, we get on, no matter where it's going. Whether
That's crazy.
Was to Spain, whether it was to...
Your brother, Joey?
Yeah. So whether it was to Spain, when he's young, he was more adventurous. He still is. But anyway, so we get to the train station. We ended up in Northern Ireland. We ended up in Wales. We ended up in Scotland. We ended up in Ireland, England, all these places, right? We were gone for 11 days. And then all we knew was we had to get back to England on the 11th day. So we didn't care where we were. We were just like, hey, we'll go somewhere and make it back in day 11. So it's freezing cold. It's New Year's Eve. And my brother and I are in this Giant's Causeway. And my brother goes, go down the steps a little. Now, giant waves are crashing against it. So my brother goes, go down the steps. I'll take a picture. So I go down and he takes a picture. He goes, get closer. Don't be a bitch. Like, look at that family over there. They're doing it. And they were like down like 2 or 3 more steps to me. I was like, I'll go down even further. So I go all the way down as far as I could go because the waves recessed. What I didn't realize was the waves were coming back with a vengeance. So I was like, my brother's getting ready to take a picture. He's like, run. So I'm just running and I get fucking blasted with the waves.
Oh,
we have it on video somewhere. My brother has it.
I need to see it.
And I'm just screaming and my brother's laughing like uncontrollably hard. I almost got engulfed in the Atlantic Ocean. And I would have been dead.
You could die. And Joey's just laughing.
Oh, he was laughing like a hyena.
Oh my God, I'm going to text him right now. That's insane.
Tell him, send me the video.
I'm going to be like, do you have the video?
Of your brother at Giant's Causeway.
Hello?
Joe, you're on the Social Studies podcast.
Oh boy.
You're not going to be able to hear your brother because he's in my headphones. So I'll translate to what he's saying, okay?
Okay.
Dude, tell me about when he almost got engulfed in the waves in Ireland.
Oh, at Giant's Causeway?
Yes, you have. First of all, do you have the video?
Of course I have the video.
Oh my God, I need it.
Oh, it's so funny.
You can't. He almost died.
I can show it to you. He didn't almost die.
The way he just told the story, he was like, I was screaming. He said there was blood hanging down his face.
No, that's not what happened.
Tell him I didn't say that.
He
literally is over here. He said that he smashed his head into
No,
a
I
rock. There was
did not.
blood dripping down his eye, and you were just up there laughing at him. I'm just kidding. He didn't say any of that.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to blow up his spot on your show, but like,
That's crazy.
So we're there.
Yeah,
go
it's
into the
crazy
water.
looking.
Yeah, and so we decided we wanted to do like a little mermaid shot, like, and
With the
water
wave
would
behind him.
crash. Yeah, with the water would crash. So I tried it first, and it didn't work. And he was going to hold in the camera because it's the digital camera.
Right.
And then he goes and he takes his jacket off, right? And he goes a little, and I go, oh, you should go a little further down. And as he goes a little further down, this huge wave just hits him, right?
Yeah.
But I took a picture, but I didn't get it on video. So I go, wait right there, wait right. And another wave hits him, right? It just, and he just comes running up and he's just like, oh God, I'm so good. Right? And I cackled like an old witch, right? And the whole video is just me cackling and him going, "Oh, God, it's so cool!" Because it's like January 3rd. Like,
Oh, you didn't tell me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's New Year's. I
it's
thought.
January. Like it's right after New Year's. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
So he's just like, "Oh God, I'm so cool." And so I was like, "Put your jacket back on." And I was dying. Like people were like looking at me like I'm a lunatic. And so, but that's not my favorite part. My favorite part is the rest of the day where like,
This is what I was trying to tell you.
we're on a 3-hour bus tour and
Oh.
it just started. So we went into the guest stop, the guest,
Tell him it was the Miller Factory, Miller Light Factory.
Gaspar's
and-
saying it was the Miller Factory.
no, I'm not there yet.
Oh,
So that was at Giant's Causeway, right? And
Right.
they don't have any clothes.
Right.
Like there's nothing because all his clothes are soaking wet. So we have to get back on the bus and he's literally dripping, right? And I'm like hiding him from the bus driver because he's soaking wet. And they're not gonna let us back on the bus if he's like
Right.
soaking wet.
Right.
So we get on, and so the rest of the day is just pictures of me and him, me smiling with my arms around him and like a decrepit castle in the background and like Northern Ireland. And it's this gorgeous scenery and him just like shivering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be, yeah. And so
I guarantee he had his arms inside his shirt in those pictures.
Oh yeah, he was freezing. So, and then
This is amazing.
we ended up going to the Bushmills factory.
oh, Bushmill.
Right. And at this point, like he didn't drink, he was under 21 and I was like, he didn't drink at all. And so like he's at the Bushmills factory and I go, yeah, drink some whiskey. You'll like warm yourself up. And we got him a pair of white Bushmills slippers. And
Oh.
so he just took his pants, he took his shoes and he just threw them away. And so because they were garbage down.
Right.
Right. And we're in the bathroom and he just keeps hitting the automatic dryer, just trying to warm up. So and he's just like huddled around the automatic dryer. And
Joey gave me his socks,
so
too.
I gave him my socks, but I was a little cold. You know what I mean? So it was bad. And so we finally get back to Belfast, right? And we go to Belfast and as we're walking around, we saw a Foot Locker and we like booked it. And as they're closing the gate, literally closing the gate, we had to beg them to reopen the Foot Locker so he could get shoes.
Oh.
Because it was like a Saturday night and it was like, and they weren't going to be open on Sunday. So he was going to be like shit out of luck.
Yeah.
And so like we had to beg them and he's just like, those shoes, it doesn't matter. And we just like took shoes any which way. And then we ended up back at the hostel. And then I'm pretty sure that was the night that we both accidentally ended up at that gay bar.
No way.
Yeah. And we realized it independently because like I went to the bathroom and he was sitting there talking to some girl. And
Who I made out with.
Came back, and it was like one of those movie things where we go, I think we're in a gay bar, like at the same time, Like, because I was like, boy, there's not a lot of women around here.
I found
And
one.
he's like, the girl just told me we're in a gay bar. Like, and I was just like, oh, right. So, yeah, so we did well.
Well, this is amazing, Joe. Thanks for joining us on the
ask him-
Social Studies
ask him
podcast.
about my clothes.
Gaspar
No problem.
wants me to ask you about how his clothes were wet the rest of the trip.
Oh, so moron, right? Just takes his clothes and puts them like in a bag, but like doesn't dry them out. So he
Oh,
just puts them in the bag and puts them in the like
They were on
in
the
the
top of my
suitcase.
backpack.
Gross,
And so-
Gaspar.
we were traveling around like randomly, like around all of like the
Oh.
UK. And now and it's like 3 days later, and we're like, why do your clothes smell like that? And it's because all his clothes were wet and were touching other clothes. And all his clothes.
That's
were,
what happened to me this
damp
weekend.
The entire time. So
And because it was so cold, they wouldn't dry.
Gaspar says that because it was so cold, they wouldn't dry.
yeah, no, that's why.
That's
Because that's what happens.
that's horribly amazing.
yeah.
Joe, thanks for joining us on the Social Studies podcast. And before I let you go, do you think that Gaspar sounds like a woman on the phone?
Oh, we both do.
Do
But I
people
don't.
say ma'am? Do people say ma'am to you?
Yes.
More often than I want it to happen.
That
Yeah.
is
You know?
insane. I don't
Yeah.
hear it.
You know
Yeah,
why
we're just
this
two
might
little
happen?
ladies.
So, but if I'm asking you for something,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I, especially if I'm trying to be like a little bit charming, my voice will go up a few octaves, and it's just like, "Hey, I have a quick question for you.
That's what
My
must happen.
AT&T bill is a little higher than normal. And I was wondering if you could help." me
You
out."
are my favorite lesbian now.
Yeah, I need me too. So
Love it.
I do own a Subaru. So what are you gonna do? So,
I've been in that Subaru.
yeah, exactly.
Amazing. All right, Joe. We'll
right.
see you when this episode comes out. Thanks for making time for us.
No problem.
All right. Bye.
So
Oh my God, I love your family so much. I
just so
love
you
your
guys
family
know, Joe
so
typed
much.
in the chat. He tells a story just like you. So
Oh
for
my
those of-
God, he does.
But wait,
he
let me
does.
just add one thing that he didn't tell.
Of
had
course.
we had backpacks on. So I was like, Joey's like, just throw out your clothes. I go, Joe, I'm not throwing out these clothes. These are good clothes.
You should have. You should have just bought new clothes.
So I put them in a garbage bag and I put them on top. And I was like, they're fine. But they just leaked through. So all my clothes
Ugh.
were wet. The rest. Also, we stayed in hostels this whole trip.
Yeah, I caught that from the story.
Yeah, we stayed in hostels. And one night, this was great. I'm laying in my bed, right? My brother picks me up to get me up into my bed because my ladder's broken. So I'm like, oh, I can't get in. So
My
I'm
ladder.
laying on
My
the top of
ladder.
the bed. My brother climbs into his bed and he goes, what the fuck? My bed's all wet. So he's like, oh, why is it so wet? So I'm like, just power through it, Joe. Like, we just got to go to bed. We'll figure it out in the morning. So all of a sudden I hear rocking next door to my bed.
Oh no.
And I'm on the top bunk. So I look over to my right and I'm like, oh, this guy's next to me. And this guy's just touching himself. He's just jerking off in the bed next to me.
Middle of
So,
in the
in
middle
a
of
hostel, in a 20-bed hostel. So I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. Then I locked eyes with him by accident. So now we're looking at each other. And I like gave him a face like, oh, like you're fucking sick. He looks at me. He goes, no. And he points down. I look down, Joe, the guy under him was straight up giving it to this girl. She had both arms she had both arms on the rail of the hostel, and he was just going at it from behind. And the whole hostel bed was just rocking.
in the
And
middle of the hostel.
The guy,
no
poor
shame.
guy on top was just like, oh God. And he was just waiting. The bed was rocking. And I was watching them. And then it was just over. Crazy. Hopefully my brother will send you that video.
Oh, we need it for Patreon. Make sure you get it for Patreon. Patreon.com/Social Podcast. You guys should go. Also, we have emails this week.
Oh yeah,
Here
this is
we
an emails only episode
go.
anyway.
Do you want to hear haircuts and scotch tape and Amish boys, or my
Yes.
date with a dead guy?
Ooh, we're gonna hear both.
Okay, we'll start with my date from a dead guy. Hey, Gasp. She called you Gasp. G-A-S-P.
That's
That's a
common.
new one. Hey, Gasp. I call you Gas, though. Hey, Gasp. in, Joe. Get a load of this one. Real quick, let me just tell you about the most horrid date ever. In my early years of college, I made a girlfriend throughout the semester while I was single. She would constantly harass me going on a date with one of her good guy friends. Well, I caved and agreed to go on the date, and she swore we would hit it off. How about no? Sorry. The guy and I texted for a few days and agreed to grab coffee. Everything was normal. We set a time and a place to meet at Starbucks. And the day of the date, he said that he wasn't feeling great and if I wanted to hang out at his house instead. Now, this is something I would never do, but okay. But because I'm bringing Jessica from college, he agreed. Well, we get to his house, and first of all, it was disgusting. There were clothes and things everywhere. The sink had a rim of stale water on it. Counters had ants crawling, and the bathroom sink had beard shavings all in it, while the floor had pink mold stains. Anyway, the guy starts grabbing some beers from the fridge. I asked to use the bathroom, and as I'm snooping, and as the snooping self I am, I decided to open the bathroom closet. I opened the bathroom closet. Oh, no.
Continue.
I don't know if we should read this.
What happened?
I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I swear.
I believe you.
I opened the bathroom closet and there's a dead body hanging in the closet.
No.
I swear to
But
God.
like legit dead?
I don't even know what to tell you. It said I opened the bathroom closet and there's a dead body hanging in the closet.
Do we
I
have to
quickly
report
came
this?
up with an excuse to leave. I grabbed my friend and the three of us never talked again. I don't know if the body was ever found and I was not about to be the next one. Boy, bye.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Is this, do we have to report this?
All right, first off, they said this was a long time ago, so I think some limitation things come up.
But hold on. But have you ever heard of that effect where like everyone just assumes that things were reported?
Yeah, like, oh, that guy's dead on the floor. And everyone just walked by and was like, nah, he's probably been dead for a while. Someone called. We don't have to report it. This is fan fiction. That's what it said in the email. First off, you saw a body and you just left it. You didn't think to call the authorities.
Well, she never told us if she did or not.
Let's assume she did. But she said she didn't because she said, I don't want to be the next victim. But that didn't mean
Dude, I'm freaking out. I'm
going to assume this email ends with, please don't use my real name.
It actually doesn't end with that. She straight up gives her name and says we can use it. And now I don't know if we should.
Nah, we're not using it. Thank you for writing in for that. Wait a second.
Wait, hold on. Do we have to report this?
What would we even report? Hi, police. Someone who we don't know sent us an email.
Police. Yeah.
First, when did they say this was? Yeah, like this could be some fucking Ted Bundy shit. They could be.
I know. That's what I'm saying, Gaspar.
Do we have to cut this?
I don't know.
No.
Well, let's just move on and decide later.
I don't think we have to cut it. We didn't, like, if I said to you, Joe, I saw a dead body in the river.
Well, then I would be with you and I could be like, did you report it? And you would be like, yes or no. And I would, if you said no, I would make you call the police immediately, no matter how many years later it was.
To you, oh, Joe, when I was 16, I saw a dead body in the river.
I would ask you this same question.
And I'm like, no, I didn't report it.
You're talking to someone who watches 4 Datelines a week.
But what would I do?
Have seen this.
River Patrol, I saw a body. It was 21 years ago.
Yes.
They would laugh at me. They'd be like, good for you.
Do you know, there are so many Datelines that I watch, and it's
in
just
her
like
specific story,
this can't be true.
She 100% would have had to have. First off, why was she in his closet on a date. What was the reason for that?
This is insane. I don't know what to do.
All right, my brother sent me the video. Let me just show you a snippet of it.
He sent it to me too. I got it. I'll watch it later. Should we just read another email? This is freaking me out.
We don't have to report that.
Haircuts and scotch tape and Amish boys. Hey, Gas and Joe. See you in Chandler, Gas. Joe,
Ooh.
come with him and we can go to the ostrich ranch. Hell yeah.
I forgot that's there, but it closed down, you said, right?
That's what I heard. But if we found out it's still there, you might see me in Chandler. Had to share my own haircut story to make Lucy feel better about her hair. As a kid, I cut my hair off right to the scalp, right in the front of my forehead. Being the creative evil genius that I was as a child, I decided to scotch tape it back, thinking that my parents would never notice. I hoarded every roll of scotch tape in the house until all the hair fell off the tape and there was nothing left. I had to have been stylish, I'm sure. Anyways, resulted in me having a nice bowl cut for a while. We lived in an Amish county and I always wore overalls. So everyone told my mom how adorable her son was. Apparently, they thought I was a little Amish boy. Love the journey. Love that journey for me. Thank you for making my ADHD-ridden ass feel so much more normal. Joe, your new special on YouTube was a riot. Gas, we'll see you soon. Yes, you can use my name, Haley T. Haley, thanks for watching. Joe Dombrowski live from Tacoma, a crowd work taping.
Haley, can't wait to see you and that haircut in Arizona.
She still has it. And she still has a bowl cut to this day.
I want to read one thing to everybody at home, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
This is really good. It's an anxiety tip. Okay? Someone sent this to me before.
Around?
No, I'm not fucking around. It's actually super good. And I was like, this
I
actually makes you...
I am feeling anxious.
This will make you feel very validated. Next time you cringe over some embarrassing moment that you had years ago, try to remember other people's most embarrassing moments. You can't you? That's because you're the only embarrassing human to exist. Everyone else is thinking about how cringy you are.
Can you say it to me one more time?
It's gonna make you. It's basically saying, think of the most embarrassing thing that happened to you. Stop thinking about that. Now think about someone else's most embarrassing thing. You can't because they're only all thinking about your embarrassing thing. All right, never mind.
Yeah, I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me, Papa Paparazzi. Okay, that was a great episode. You guys, thank you so much for being here. We love you. We will see you on all corners of the interweb, and you can catch me at a live show. Go to thejoedombrowski.com for the full tour dates and tickets.
Also, you could catch me on the road and you can see me at GaspareRandazzo.com. Look, for those of you real quick who are at home, if you don't want to go on the Patreon, we get it. I just want to show you a quick picture of my brother and I standing in after. Hold on. We look so young, right? There I am.
And thank you guys. And if we don't have another episode, it's because a murderer listened and found us. Love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.